Sports Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM. Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Game over.
A lot have tried. We've still beaten them. Chiefs tried and we beat them. So we have to answer the questions. It's football. Some will sit low, some will press high, some will have a mid to low block. Some will do it in phases. We did it to Pirates on Wednesday. We were very, very aggressive. We did it to Chiefs. Our first goal comes from homework.
086 000 2160. That's the number. 086 000 2160. Happy Heritage Day to you and yours. Thank you so much to the touchdown coming through on a Monday on Heritage Day. And not only sprinkling some heritage loveliness across South Africa, but also, of course, giving us some of that replenishment on a Monday. It is replenishment that is much needed because there are those who lost their minds and their teachings and their homeschooling because of results from the weekend. There are those who just lost it completely. And the results made them people that I would like to think they are not. I'd like to think you're not those people. But today, the three wise men are here. The window closed, as far as football is concerned. Mazola's here. And then the big decisions of the weekend. He came here fully dressed and ready to take South Africa on to answer questions that you might have on any of the decisions made over the weekend. Victor Hlungwani, the principal, is here. Together we're known as the three wise men, not always so wise. Welcome to it. It's 11 after the hour 6 on the Mighty Metro FM. It's Sports Night Amplified with Andile. Taking your calls from 15:15. 15 after the hour 6. We're taking your calls all the way till top of the hour today because there's a lot to talk about. If you're going to talk about the F1, if you're going to talk about the rugby, remember the rugby, we're going to full preview and review mode tomorrow, so you can leave the rugby be. If you're going to talk about the EPL, Man United winning, let's go.
Drop us a voice note on 060 552 7303 now. Call us on 0860 00 2160. Hashtag the weekend that was.
That is the final whistle.
On Sports Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport.
It's 13 after the hour 6. Welcome to it. We're taking your calls from 15:15. So in about 2 minutes, we begin with your calls. You must just tell us who it is that you want to ask a question to. He's here. Mazola Molefe. You are the content today. And of course, Hlungwani is here as well.
I don't think I'm the popular one today.
No, I don't think you're the popular one today. I've got a feeling we know where all the calls are going to go. But in case you missed it, here's the weekend that was on the Mighty Metro FM. We look back at an impressive weekend of football. Football, sport in general, does several things to us. Number one, it bonds us with people around us, be it our loved ones, our friends, even strangers. When we're watching together, football bonds us together. What it does as well is it inspires us. It inspires us when we see people who've got abilities beyond what we can consume in our minds that they're able to do. But also, the other thing that it does is it moves us emotionally, be it negatively or positively. It moves us, and it's always got a little bit of controversy sprinkled across us that allows us to go on speaking about decisions that were made in Rothman's Cup in 19-something, because that's all we're hearing at the moment. It is all a part of the game. Is it right? Is it wrong? Of course. Of course, it cultivates something in you and I. But let's talk about all of it, because the referee that sits across from me, whether you like what he's about to say or not, know that when he was still the ref, he was the best at his job. I'm not saying that. CAF are saying that because they gave him the whistle in the most important matches in CAF. Because they gave him the whistle in the biggest matches in this country and awarded him with the best referee in this country at the time. So that's why he sits where he sits. The journalist that sits with me every single Monday as part of the Three Wise Men is the best at his job. He is the current best football journalist in South Africa. Mazola Molefe, Super Journal. And here on this show, you're on the best sports show in South Africa. So when we say the three wise men, we're not always so wise. This is true. But I've got the best people to tackle all your questions from the weekend. But before that, here's what Rulana Mokoena had to say after the match over the weekend.
I'm just overwhelmed by emotions, just extreme pride. I'm very proud of the group of players. They work very, very hard, and I'm just proud that they get to play a final because with a lot of the things that we achieved last season, the one thing we did not give ourselves a chance was to play a cup final, and that was one of the objectives this season, and very proud that the players have done that.
beats Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs in the same week, is on his way to a final. He's got his best players shooting and firing at the moment, breaking records as Shalulile. That is coach Rulani Mokoena displaying his pride there. Let's now go to Mulefenseki on the penalty shout.
We are all aware that we were supposed to be given a penalty, and that penalty was to be a 2-2 score, and getting a 2-2 score, we were to get the goal. So in terms of us not giving enough towards the end, on that one I don't agree. I think we did more than enough even to get a penalty, of which it was not given. And it is very clear it was a penalty, because a tackle came from behind, and the referee did not give a penalty.
We'll play that one again, I'm pretty sure. But let's go to Orlando Pirates now, where Jose Ribeiro lost the match, tied the game, but goes through to the final. Orlando Pirates reaching the MTN8 final.
Unfortunately, it's the third game in a row that we couldn't put the ball in the net, and that is affecting also our perception of the day. And we have to all understand and make sure we understand that it's the third time that this group is playing a semi-final, third time they have an opportunity to improve the history of the club playing one more final.
And of course, Steve Barker, who was on the losing side but lost the tie on away goals. He had this to say.
Solid performance, you've got a victory, but you don't advance, so at the end of the day, the 94th minute goal we conceded in the first leg, that away goal we always thought, might be the one that comes back and bites us. So yeah, unfortunately, as you say, very fine margins. I thought we applied ourselves really well today. Besides the goal we scored, we had a couple of other really good half chances. We pushed them all the way. Maybe with a bit of luck, we could have snuck something near the end.
There's a lot of questions about this weekend. Orlando Pirates, on Friday, Orlando Pirates was a big discussion on here. We trended the entire weekend because of the conversations that we had here, started by Katlego Mashego Mahuta. Orlando Pirates have now lost in 3 different competitions in the last 3 matches. The PSL, in CAF,
Champions League,
as well as in the MTN. They've been unable to score a goal in all 3 as well. This is with... And many have said this, one of the best coaches in the PSL at the moment in Jose Ribeiro, and he showed that last season. But something is not clicking right now at the moment for a team that won 2 trophies and came second last year. So a lot to talk about as far as that's concerned. Here are the goals. Immediately after the goals, we take your calls.
iChiefs ikijonge kuwe uyilwesli wabatho wayibeka emnatheni 1 Kaizer Chiefs linye inqaku kwiqela layo Mamelodi Sundowns
cross apollo shoko artabane ne rego kego Bryce wana misura mkanene yena Peter Shololile sha 2 Mamelodi Sundowns 1 Panshina Amakhosi.
Call us on 0860 00 2160.
It's that time. We're going to be taking your calls. Jabu sent me something, man. He says Orlando Pirates 0-1 defeat to Stellenbosch in the MTN8 was Jose Riveiro's 50th game at the club. 50 games already, can you believe it? The Spaniard has won 29 of the 50 games. He's drawn 9 and lost 12. He's got a 58% win rate, second only to Joseph Zimbauer, who had 30 for 50 for Pirates coach at this stage. So great stat there as far as Ribeiro is concerned. Let's take your calls. But before we do, I haven't greeted the guys, so let me do so. What's your name? I can imagine your phone was ringing off the hook.
Yeah, the whole weekend, lots of inquiries.
Because South Africa calls you.
South Africa calls me, even Lesotho.
Lesotho?
Yeah, even Lesotho, even Namibia as well, yeah.
They were calling you?
They were calling to find out. They want to know what went wrong.
Well, guys, like I said, the 3 of us are here. We're taking your calls. That's all we're doing on the show. Mazola, the transfer window closed. I got up to take a look at it. South African transfer window at dampener.
It was dead. We were hoping Serinho would be the move, but the UAE transfer window closed on a Thursday night, and South African window closed on Friday. So he is stuck at Sundowns.
Till January at least.
Till January at least. But unless he issues an apology and somehow, one way or the other, he's reintegrated into the squad. But I highly doubt it.
Oh, let's go to Germiston. We're taking your calls over the next hour. Whatever questions that you want to ask at 086-000-2160. We've got the time for you. Normally I'm like, hey, 30 seconds, there's no time. We've got the time for you. But we're going to limit it to just one idea, conversation, question. If you want to speak to Mazola, if you want to speak to Tatani, who's here, hey, maybe if you want to have a chat with me, I'm here as well. Mtu.
Sure.
Who's it, Mtu?
Sapona.
Hey, Mtu, bekumnandi weekend, ne?
Voice here.
I got married this past weekend, so my voice is gone. But I just wanted to comment on the Chiefs Sundowns game.
Okay.
I'm a Sundowns fan, and the only thing I can say is it was very, very, very sweet the way we won, because I needed to after COVID from the Rotterdam Cup and moments like this. The friends would just come back and lie. Thank you.
Mdu, I'm not even going to entertain much because, I mean, you're very difficult to hear there, but I appreciate you calling Mdu out in Germiston. Thank you so much. Let's go to Jonathan. Jonathan is out in Houghton. Ooh, Timmy, it's going to be a long day if you're doing that. David. Mdava.
Hello?
Hey, talk to me, David. David is out in Nguruleni.
My brother, I'm really heartbroken. If I were to say my heart out of it, despite regretting, you see what happened during the weekend. It has been it's the only mistake that I see. Why is it that somebody makes a mistake and then is given the same schedule type of a game, schedule A, knowing that this person is messing up? Okay, for the first time you can say, it was a mistake, but when it happens the way it happened against Chiefs, I think it was by design. And I want just to say, thank you to Safa for messing up. This thing is a cooked story, but it didn't make mistakes. There is politics behind it, and it is hating soccer. Look at Bafana. They will suffer because of these things. Mamelodi Sundowns doesn't need any referee. Genuine. But the road at Safa is the one that is causing the quality of soccer. Thank you, Andy.
David, I appreciate you. A lot being said there by David. He says, no, man, it was architected, that thing. It was meant to go that way. There is a plan to assist Sundowns in their success. Okay, I hear that. Let's go to Sitle. Sitle is out in Otokoza. Sitle. Hey, man. I'm good.
I am not okay,
Which
is here. He must
the referee is here. He's here just for you. So talk directly to him.
We mix about Victor Gomez. We mix about Hlungwani. We mix about.
No, but Sitle, that's not true. Because when Victor was here, you were hammering him every day about the red cards he was given. You were hammering him every day about the decisions he's making. So I really, let's be genuine.
But those were the referees that were not ashamed or not scared to take decisions. I don't know what goes on about referees. Yabona urefu simple fan usiphuzile man usiphuzile and this is very, very sad. They should do something about this thing yaboma refu, because it's mostly football yet ngempela bafethu. It's mostly football. Inhliziyo zethu zibuhlungu hey.
I hear you, Sitle. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. No one's asked you any questions yet, so I'm not sure. Let's go to Jimmy. Jimmy's out in Macau. Jimmy. Maparisto.
Le palararona.
Tavigi Mazola.
Sure, Jimmy.
Jimmy too.
Andile dangi utori kola ka tena mfana daramba ukhalimile utlwile ka lebo.
O reng Jimmy?
Andile na give everyone. Na I said it already. Chiefs not the Sundowns. Andile, you are not playing a good football. Sometimes we need to play football to score, Andile. Andile, narlatile ka Faro a stopiwe. Moses ukai a stoppa Faro, Andile. Rlatile ka Rulane matala. Rlatile. ne ke botsa le mosimane hape go se serene a nnetse re ba robile me bra Andile Kaizer Chiefs is not playing a beautiful football ka leboha Andile o rata balaene tlovetso masola.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Sillo is out in Pretoria. This is going to be the easiest show we've ever done, guys. Sillo.
I have some burning questions for Tatana.
I have questions as well, but I don't want it to be me. I want you to ask the questions you want. All weekend you said you want to hear from him. Sillo.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, no, I'm good, man. Talk to us.
Cool, and the rest of the guys there. Let me start with the question first. Mazola, do you think Teto is a good acquisition for Kaizer Chiefs?
Isn't Tetra a good acquisition for Kaizer Chiefs? I'll tell you what, Hlompo Kekana said no. He said he's a good player, but he shouldn't have been a Kaizer Chiefs acquisition because Kaizer Chiefs should have been chasing a striker. What do you think?
Kaizer Chiefs already have a strike, so let me answer that question first. I think Mteto will improve them. I'm a little bit surprised that a release clause was triggered for a player who can't make the Bafana team, but that's neither here nor there in the bigger picture. But
he's called in the 36 now.
Well, he's called in the 36 now, but let's see if he makes it. He makes the cut to play against in the October friendly matches. But I do think he'll improve them. He'll give them stability. Castillo can play further up and possibly give us what Coach Mulifintseki has been saying. That.
So you're saying Mart sits out?
No. I think they can all play together because
Mart Castillo.
Castillo is a cocktail, as Coach Mulifintseki
said.
He can play
Mart,
possibly. I mean, because Yusuf Mart's playing really well. Yes, Kaizer Chiefs maybe aren't winning games, so it overshadows the fact that Yusuf Mat is doing really well. But I don't see Yusuf sitting on the bench when Sbongiseni Mthethwa comes in. I think all three can play together. But we'll see who bites the dust.
Okay, if by 1:30 no one's asked these questions, Tatane will ask them to you. Alistair is out in Bloemfontein. Yeah. Alistair.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
No, we're good, man.
Alistair.
I'm good, man. First things first, on a lighter note quickly. Mr. Ref, how are you?
Just like a fish in the water, and how are you?
Yes, me, bro. Let me quickly tell you this. I used to fear you. I was not a player, but I used to fear you by just watching you on TV. You would instill fear in me. And I would wonder, how are these guys performing with this ref? Guys would come and they would want to disrupt. And you come with that tall figure of yours and you point one finger and everything is stopping.
And the very short shorts.
No, you see you still fear in me. However, quickly, let me get to this, man. Mr. Ref, can you please tell me,
Yeah.
On Wednesday's penalty, my team vs Sundowns.
Yes.
What do you make of that penalty? And I need you to be very, very honest with me. And then to the other gentleman, Mazals, how are you, my guy?
Alistair Kishapu, wena?
I came not me out. Listen, this thing in your Sundowns, man, I know you're going to be diplomatic, but this thing in your Sundowns have always benefiting. Remember that season when they won the Champions League, the CAF Champions League? It was off-season here by us, if I'm not mistaken, and they were eliminated, and somehow they got the
reinstated.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yes, AS Vita Club.
True,
yes.
AS Vita. Yeah, man. Listen, man. Sundowns, they are good. They are excellent. Make no mistake about it. But they cannot be benefiting so much, man. I'm not a Chiefs fan. I was actually rooting for Chiefs on Saturday. But hey, it is what it is. You have a wonderful evening, gents.
It is what it is. Thank you so much, Alistair.
Please answer my question, eh?
He's going to go straight into it, Alistair there. I think he asked about the penalty on Wednesday.
Yeah, let's go through to it. 9-minute penalty, Zwane and Baloni.
Yes.
New player.
The new player
young
from
player,
Dondol.
Comes from the lower leagues, comes up.
Yeah, to the Premier League, welcomed by Masikole Bambiswa after he did what we call trips or attempt to trip an opponent. There's a law in under law 12 that lists all the direct free kick offense. There's 3 of them that people don't understand, but I think it's important for me to mention them. It says kick or attempt to kick, trips or attempt to trips, strike or attempt to strike. You see, I'm not even looking at the book. I'm saying them because they are in my head. So now, if you look at Zwano played the ball to his space, and Baloni comes in with an attempt to trip, Eventually, he made contact. Even if he did not make contact, attempt was there. But there was clear contact, full contact with the boot, which he tripped an opponent. So that we call it careless foul. So therefore, it happened inside the penalty area. Correct decision by Ubambisa. Masikol, Kotanga Mkolelo Balon, Afaki penalty.
Clear penalty.
Clear penalty.
No questions asked.
No question, there was clear contact. We'll show you in the soccer zone. That contact, if you did not see, when 10
o'clock this evening, SABC 1. Well, there we go. So we've gotten one out the way. Let's go to Tax. Tax is out in Cape Town. Tax.
Hi, Andile. How are you?
Hey, man. It's all about you. Talk to me.
Yeah, Andile, just a few questions. And good evening to your guests, the three musketeers there. Just a few questions. One is, are the sponsors happy with this product called PSL? Because the stadiums are empty. Every single week or round of games, there is issues with the referee's performance. And just a question also to the men representing referees. Are these decisions reviewed and some of them reversed, or these refs just get away with the known suspension? Normally they will take them to the second division, and a few months later or a few weeks later they are back. Are those punishments sufficient? And then just the last question is around the VAR. Is PSL in the process of introducing VAR, or it's not for this coming season or this current season?
Thank you so much, Tax. I appreciate it. Let's go to the second one before I say to the two doctors. Are sponsors happy with this? I mean, when you look at an MTN, they're going to be happy with what they're seeing at the moment as far as their cup is concerned. It's been packed games, great fixtures. Sundowns Chiefs was a big fixture for them. Even the Pirates Steadies was a good fixture for them, both in Cape Town and here in Johannesburg. So I can imagine that as far as the cups are concerned, they're getting their money's worth. Anything else? I mean, DSTV, as far as the DSTV Premiership is concerned.
Yeah, the concern is probably more league games. Because obviously those are, you get your mid-table teams playing against each other, where maybe it's the marketing or it's where the teams are, the type of football that they play. But the Category A games seem to generally sell themselves. And also I was making a comment to some of my colleagues at Orlando Stadium on Sunday that Pirates, before Jose Ribeiro arrived, they were not pulling in the big numbers. Remember, under Coach Fadlu and Mandla Ncikazi. But as soon as he arrived, started winning matches, cup competitions, you can see. I mean, Orlando Stadium, 2 seasons ago on a Sunday afternoon, that stadium would barely have 10,000 people. Yesterday, there were probably 30,000 plus. Yeah.
So, and also, I mean, the sponsor of the DSTV Premiership is a TV.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure they're happy you're watching on TV. I don't know. I would assume so.
Yeah, probably.
I would assume so. Referees. Is there's no such thing as reversing anything in South Africa? You can't reverse a yellow card, you can't reverse a red card, you can't reverse a penalty, you can't reverse the result. There can't be a play over, a do-over. Just as far as review is concerned, because we know that review happens. Yes. What are the possible outcomes of a review?
Review sits every Monday and sometimes Thursday, because they are game on Wednesdays. So when they review, like today, they are sitting to review the weekend games. They make recommendations if the referee made an error that influenced the outcome of the match.
Like on Saturday.
Yeah. So there will be consequences from review that they will recommend to technical to say, we recommend that this referee be suspended or put on ice or rehabilitation for a certain period of time until he recovers. So that's the
until
process.
He recovers.
Yeah, until he's rehabilitated. Correctional services.
But what constitutes rehabilitation?
Yeah, what is the process? Tell us the process. What happens? Now they're saying, because at the moment we've got how many referees that are in suspension or in rehabilitation?
Yeah, we had Sikukune game, referees suspended. We have Sundowns Chiefs game, referees suspended. There's another one in the NFD that I know referees have been suspended as well. I'm not sure if there's others, but they are busy trying to, review and make those recommendations from the side. So
he's not answering the question. What does rehabilitation look like?
Right. Rehabilitation, they took you to games in the lower division, assign you a senior match commissioner who will work with you so that when you come back, then you are a better ref.
All right, let's go to, I think it's Moroka Mashabane out in Mokopane.
Hey.
Benjani mashaka
Efukile njani hosi?
Hayi khona man.
Esona man.
my problem. Masitole Bambi, February 2023. He's a match official. Orlando Pirates versus Sundowns. Pirates is 1-0. After the game, Masitole Bambi is suspended for poor officiating. Am I right or am I correct?
No, I remember I was suspended at some stage, yes.
Then come September 2023, Masitole Bambi is appointed as a match official for the same team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? How is it possible that SAFA and PSL appoint a referee who was suspended for this game, then today he's appointed again for the similar game?
Morocco, I think what you've done is you've asked a very important question. Let's make it a little bit larger. How, as a referee, how do you know which games you're doing? How are you chosen to do which games? And who does the choosing?
Yeah, there's appointment committee led by Mr. Arisol Daltos who does the appointments. And he looks at the performance of the referee at that particular time. So if you are good, you are performing well, there's nothing stopping him from giving you the same game that you refereed in 2020. So there's no rule that says you can't referee. If you mess up that game, that does not mean when you go to the similar match, you'll do bad. When you perform good, you say nothing. But now he had a bad game, and then not even a bad game per se, because Masikole on the day, Sundowns and...
last season.
No, even this one.
Yeah, I'm saying last season he was in charge of Sundowns versus Pirates at the same venue.
Even now, in this game, Tuesday, Wednesday, Pirates and Sundowns. What wrong has he done there? You tell me.
He's gone.
He's gone.
Terribly sorry. He's gone there. Terribly sorry. I thought we were still in there. Let's go to Takalo. Takalo's in Newcastle. Takalo. Oh, Takalo's no longer with us. In Terf, Tebogo.
Yes, Ma'a.
Yeah, the referees here. Mazola's here.
Yes, Mazola and the referees. Let me quickly go to David. David, there's a say in Zulu that says "Likochol sase manzi." So
but I hear what you're saying.
Yes, you put it exactly the way it's supposed to be. So there's a problem of which we need to find the cause of the problem.
Yes.
So before it explodes, and then it's not going to be controllable. So this thing of referees and whatsoever that is happening, I don't know who is influencing that, but it needs to stop. I request that you guys have a serious look into it.
Okay.
I'm just requesting for that because now people are moving away from the PSL to the European League. So now what's going to happen to the upcoming young players that are looking forward to play for PSL in order for them to groom to the other level? So that's a problem again. Because now, internationally, when looking at us, we just want to look like nothing.
You get the point? No, we get you. Thank you so much.
Yes,
appreciate it.
I just wanted to say last thing, because mostly I'm on the road. Sorry.
No, go for it. Very quickly.
Yeah, I heard that you saying the Kaizer Chiefs is looting the entire Kaizer Chiefs. So I'm just referring to whatever that Mamelodi has been doing. From my side, I believe it lacks game management. Because I've watched the game and in terms of the shots at goals and whatsoever, I'm looking at the players. They're only shooting from outside the box. So we no longer have those 1-2s in the box, and then they're playing more aerial balls, of which we don't have tall players beside the one that we just got recently. So of which
Saile, Gonzalez.
Gonzalez just came recently. I mean, Saile is not that of a tall player. I cannot guarantee him as a tall player. So those are the things that we want to look into.
He's definitely not short, Saile, but I hear you.
I'm not happy. I'm not happy at all. I'll just get a chance to come and call back again because I'm mostly on the road.
No, we appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. Let's take a break. When we come back, since you guys don't want to ask him the question, I'll ask him the question.
There's a VAR question as well that's pending.
VAR question. You can answer that one quickly. VAR, how far are we?
Yeah, VAR discussion are underway. It's with SAFA. So SAFA need to make pronouncement after they've concluded all the engagement with
SAFA said FIFA approved VAR plans. So where's the delay?
It needs money, my friend.
Okay.
So SAFA need to get money somewhere to fund or buy the equipment.
When we come back, Peter Shaluli, let's go. in 8 seconds, because it was, I mean, we trimmed it. It's just over 8 seconds. It's probably 8 point something. Can be rounded off to 9, not even 10 seconds.
Yeah.
When he scored that goal, the rules say that kickoff must happen first before the opposition team can move.
Yeah. He was already running.
It looks like Peter Shalulile was already running. Not only was he in the circle, but it looks like he'd even crossed
there was
the
a Chiefs
line.
player trying to block him as well. Yeah.
So when we come back, I want you to tell us about that moment. Should that goal have stood? Was Shalulile in the right place? Was he within his rights to be where he was? Or did we see it wrong? The referee was standing right there as well. That instance. Should that Peter Shalulile initial goal, the first one, the history-making one, the 9 seconds one, should it have stood? When we come back.
Podcast Friday on Sports Night Amplified with Andile.
Kevin Johnson, I honestly think is a good appointment as a head coach, not development. He's better than Atazwane, he's better than Tsegi, he's better than Gideon Shepherd. You need to put him as a head coach.
Let's go to Spongy Lane.
Johnson won last day with development structure. Let's
go to Malosa. Malosa is out in Tladi. Malosa.
Chiefs needs to keep one coach at least for a season and a half.
Are you saying, Malosa, that bringing in a Kevin Johnson, doesn't matter what you've said to Ntseki, starts to make him nervous?
Actually, you are sending a signal. As like your Malema would say, you are sending a signal to say your replacement is already here. He can meet the ground running anytime.
And the fact that they announced Calvin Johnson just before the Sundowns game, what does it mean? They're saying Makosi,
do you think Chiefs would be as brazen as to take Kevin Johnson and be like, Aumela Sikpagi? Surely not.
No, they can't do that because Ntseki is not going to improve the team.
Podcast Friday on Sports Night Amplified with Andile, powered by SABC Sport. The Three Wise Men, but not always so wise, on Sports Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM.
Hi, Andile and the team. The weekend that was, I mean, Saturday, I sang out of focus, like, I bought sometimes it out in, like, I'm going to ring to you on Saturday, if Fluko, Naman, like, it's as if Flung, footing, Malagon Kumang, like, I flew, and it cost email, and I don't lie. Anyway, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
So, yeah, Komi.
Skis comes up.
Hi, your guests there and the listeners of Metro FM. All I can say is we benefited, yes, and I'm not ashamed about the benefits. Kaizer Chiefs has benefited before, and it will continue to benefit. There was a time where Schota used to just fall, and then the refs gives a penalty. So we are fine with the benefit. Thanks, Petros from Pretoria.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
I don't know.
That's against fair play.
Ref, let's go for it.
Yeah,
the kickoff.
The kickoff. That is law number 8. The start and restart of play. There's a procedure there where it says the ball must be placed on the penalty mark, on the center mark, not center spot, center mark. The kicker, previously it used to say the kicker must kick the ball forward. Now he can kick it backward or forward. The opponents must be on their own half of the field of play. And then again, the opponents must also be 9.15 meters or 10 yards away from the ball. So that means in the center circle, they must not encroach. They must be outside the center circle. So if anyone found to be in the center circle as an opponent, it means that kick should be retaken because the procedure has been violated. So now when you look at the match, I never saw it. I only heard from somebody. And when I look at it again, I realized that it was shown in the 44th minute of the match. But if it happens that Shalulile was in that position, the procedure has been violated, the kick should have been retaken.
You went and you looked at it, Ankar?
Not yet, because I only saw the images, the image I saw.
But you didn't see the video.
Then I had to inquire as to, I look at the match, I did not see. So they said it was played in slow motion around the 44th minute. I'm like, maybe that's why I missed it, because I was right at the stadium.
Okay, so we'll make a pronouncement on this one on Soccer Zone this evening.
Yes, this one we can take to Soccer Zone to look at that 43-minute slow motion. That's when you see it. During the match, when the match starts, you can't see it.
All right, let's go to Lisibe. Lisibe is out in the good lane. Lisibe.
Hey, good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
Lisibe Watatatana, fella. Go for it.
He's here for you.
No, man. First and foremost, what the weekend that was. Tatana, just want to get clarity from you.
Yes.
One, there was an attempt where the shot was on target. All right, the goalkeeper says, but the ball looked like it went out. If you could look at that and give me if the whole circumference of the ball crossed the line.
This is the Saile run.
That's the one, correct.
Yeah.
Number two, there was a pull by Tebogo Mokoena on Castillo at the hand. If that was not given as a penalty because for me it's an infringement, then I don't know. I'll listen live and direct.
Lisiba, thank you very much. Dazan, did you see that one?
I saw the image as well, where Castillo was pulled by Mokoena, and I don't know how the referee missed it, but we'll take it to Soccer Zone just to see if indeed the image that we saw, because people can manufacture. If it's not manufactured, Soccer Zone will show the real one, and then we'll make a determination from there. But pulling or holding an opponent as it is, it's a direct free kick offense. If it happens inside the penalty area, a penalty should be awarded.
The Saile, he makes a run. I think he's up against, if I'm not mistaken, Tebogo Mokoena. He leaves him for dead.
Oh, the one that he crossed from the flanks.
But it's a funny angle as well. So I think I agree with Tatana. When you watch the actual video, you might and see it from different angles. You might see that maybe it's not the whole circumference of the ball that's crossed the line. Because
so it's inconclusive.
It's a still image, and you can't judge from still images.
And we must be 100% sure. If you are not 100% sure, we leave it.
Yeah.
Kabelo GP, Kabelo. Oh, sorry there, Kabelo. Let's go to Class. Class is in Pretoria. Class.
Hey, Andile.
Hey.
It's like now you are investigating Sundowns too much, man. When you go to that one, actually, it's not Andile, wait a bit, man, with that one. No one saw it. That one is fine. Leave it like that, please.
If Yashalulile.
Yeah.
No, Akira Tatana is gonna show us on. Stay up for Soccer Zone tonight so that you can see the actual video, because we don't know. Dilo Dihlaya more Twitter, and we can't be 100% sure that those are the actual images. It can be manipulated from a still image, like we were saying.
Yeah, and the second one is that Chiefs wants to go to final without winning a single match. They got 180 minutes. They could not even win a single match. They are not going anywhere. They might just stay where they are. And other thing is that review. This thing of a review, it's like you got eyes. I remember the game between Dondor Star and Orlando Pirates, and Pirates went to the final of Nedbank. There was I don't remember any review of Makalipi because there was a clear penalty there, and it seems like there was no review, there were no talks, there were nothing. That review, you need to review very well and review everyone. I think it's very, very important. Thank you very much.
Class, appreciate it.
Yeah, they do. That match was reviewed. I can tell you because I have friends in the review committee that we talk. It was reviewed, and some of the sanctions they don't announce. They will suspend the referee without you knowing. Yeah. So they do review.
In fact, they barely announce anything.
Exactly.
They review quietly, and at times as journalists, we even just find out by chance that
somebody's been suspended.
Or if it's a big, for instance, we are going to find out
about this particular
one. But
let's
others
go
quietly. Yeah.
Lebakang is in PLK. Lebakang.
Hello.
You want to speak about the officiating as well?
Yes. I'm very worried. I just want to hear from Tatani regarding two incidents between Pirates and Sundowns game. Sipomboli, possible second yellow card. Roman Williams, also another possible red card. The third incident is also regarding Chiefs versus Sundowns possible penalty. So if Tatani can please provide clarity on those three incidents. Thank you.
Lebakang, thank you very much. Let's go to the Ronwen Williams one, because I remember that. Ronwen off his line, goes off to go and play last man sweeper. Collides with Lepasa there. You saw that one?
Yes. That one I saw. There is this consideration for dogs, or denying an obvious goal scoring opportunity. There's 4 considerations that must be 100% completed for a referee to give a red card. And this 4 consideration, there must not be any doubt that an obvious goal has been prevented. Number 1 is direction of play. You look at the direction of play, you can see that the play was going to the side, slightly on the side, right? So there's doubt there. 2, the distance to goal. The distance, yes, we can give it a tick. And then 3, you look at the location and number of defenders. When Lepasa trapped the ball, there was a defender parallel to him. So now we can say there is a defender here. So it's there's doubt. Now you look at the last one, which is control of the ball. Lepasa tried to control the ball, but it did not go the way he wanted because it did not go straight to goal. It went to the side. So when it went to the side, it means there's another doubt. So when there's doubt in all these 4 considerations, or one of them, the referee has got doubt, he cannot give a red card. He will go for SPA, which is stopping a promising attack. So it must be obvious that the next touch, the player will score. So here, the next touch, it was not obvious that he will score because the ball went slightly to the side. So that's why the referee gave a yellow card for stopping a promising attack because it was not obvious.
Not a doxo, but a SPA.
It's a SPA, yes.
All right. Very well answered. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Let's go to Mtakati. Mtakati Usatimbisa. Ufuna Chiefs and Sundowns. Oh, Mtakati, terribly sorry there. Brian is in Randburg. Brian? Hey, go for it.
Yeah, man. It's great show as always, guys.
No, I appreciate it. Man.
Yeah, 2 things for me. Maybe let me start with the officiating. I'm just concerned that there's been too many of these incidents involving Mamelodi Sundowns, but maybe it's neither here nor there. The Chiefs Sundowns game, Castillo is pulled, and Matt is kicked in the 18 box. Lukolo says nothing, plays on. There will be a review, like Tatana says. Maybe he will be taken to NFD or ABC Mutsipe as a punishment, and then when he's rehabilitated, he comes back. But what does it do for the teams, Because, those hooligans from that side of Naturena will attack Nkwiki as if it was his fault. But he tried. But here's the guy that prevented. And I'm not saying it could have been a goal because maybe Ronwen could have saved it, or maybe Chiefs could have missed that penalty if he judged as a penalty. But what does it do for Kaizer Chiefs when he goes for a review, Lukona? That's number 1. Number 2 is just the issue of the acquisition of Muteta. For me, I think it's a good acquisition. I know Mazola disagrees because
he actually agreed.
No, I actually agreed. I said Muteta will improve Kaizer Chiefs.
Yeah, but my worry is that I don't want them to play all 3 of them.
It's going to be a funny one, that one.
Yeah, I don't see it happening, but I like the fact that Muteta can stay because at some point during that semi-final game, there was this big hole.
Castillo was moving to the side, wasn't he? Yeah, Castillo was moving sideways most of the time, yeah.
Exactly. So you need someone disciplined to stay there, and maybe it will help. I know they want to play from the back, and maybe Muteta can help them do that. Yeah, but at the moment, there's a big need. Thank you very much, guys.
Brian, appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let's go to Malose. Malose is out in Pretoria, wants to speak about the semi-final. Malose.
Hey, Andile, how's it?
No, man, we're good, man. Talk to us.
Sharp, man, and the gentleman in the studio with you.
Thank you, my brother.
Andile, we are not watching great football indeed. This weekend we didn't watch the football that we are used to in South Africa. I don't think Sundowns is performing at their best. And also, the appalling refereeing that we are experiencing, Andile, it's now starting to drop the level of football we watch. I think teams are now depending on referees to win. We are no longer playing the ball. Clear offenses are ignored. But that's besides the point. The point is we are not seeing the best of football that we used to see or that we saw when the league began. Number 2, and which is my last thing, do we really believe that Springboks played to lose to avoid All Blacks? This is something that I think I saw.
Tomorrow. It's an hour of rugby.
Rugby Tuesdays.
We've got the man that you are listening to commentating on that game here. So please, Rugby Tuesdays, because that would be very sad if it's true. Very sad, because that's not, a tactic that we want to be. Kabelo, we finally got Kabelo on. Kabelo, very quickly, man. You're coming in, Masasisi Avala. Kabelo. No wahala, Oga. What's going on?
I'm all right, Nina. Ndeke funa ukuyitshela abantu bonke ereke qale kuvulisa izitilo zonke kalandelana uMazola uprincipal lapha mara thina sixhosa sathina sasithanda Kaizer Chiefs ngithanda kanhliziyo yonke mara azizofaka i-referee ndiyako sizofaka i-referee tiyibhekile hayi khona uyabona khona manje ngize entry ngibuya umhlaka umhlaba walingana manje ngiyabona ukuthi lezi zinto lezi
because masikhuluma kahle abafuna ukuzintsha ngibona ukuthi sidile nama-referee traditional baba because thina sofa sathina sathanda asihle masethiwile manje bona abathandi karuso emsebenzini uyabona referee 3 attempts akafuna ukuhlekeza penalty wakwazi so asefuna ukuthi bethi yeah because of basebenzisa ama-powers abanye bakhe so ngibona ukuthi sithandazile saphalasa akusebenzeki ngibona ukuthi balande traditional manje ngibuya umhlaba walenkani uzobona omunye referee into ezathi uzobona sibhuku sabuthana
Kabelo, I'm about to ask him the question because he's here. We've dilly-dallied. None of you have asked him, so I'm going to ask him. Was it a penalty or not?
I can't believe nobody called
Nobody
in and
called
asked him
and
whether
asked
it
him
was
was
a
a penalty or not.
Everyone was talking around it, saying, Lukolo Badimas this and that.
So
was
let's
it
go
a
straight
penalty
to it.
or not?
Was it a penalty or not? Because, you know, we've got different people that are saying things. There's former players that are saying something. There's Teko who are saying something else. There's too many people. I looked at it and I thought, hey, man, surely that's a penalty. I was in studio with Thompo and Doctor.
Penalty all day,
They
every
both
day.
thought that's a penalty. But this
Penalty
question
all
of,
day, every day.
did Mtanzane insert himself as Tapelo was trying? Was it a penalty or not?
Yeah, someone asked, only one person. He asked about the Mbule one and the Chiefs one.
I want to know about the Chiefs one. The one at the end, you know, the Mtanzane one. In the box, gets a kick from the back.
Yeah.
Was it a penalty?
Yeah, let's go to law. The law says kick or attempt to kick an opponent. If you look at the ball, Maseko tried to trap the ball. He did not have control of the ball. It fell on space. Mdatsane occupied the space. And what did Maseko do? He kicked him from behind. So kicking an opponent from behind inside the penalty area, it's a penalty.